I call upon you to be with us when we go out Monday. Now about injunctions. We have an injunction and we are going into court tomorrow morning to fight this illegal, unconstitutional injunction.
If you can imagine this, in the spring of 1968, I was consulting with the parole officers in D.C. I think it was probably, I don't know, every couple of weeks. I would come into the city and meet with them. We met on Fridays. I don't remember the exact date, but Thursday night, in I guess April it was, Martin Luther King was killed.
We of Memphis are deeply saddened by the tragic event that has just occurred in our city, and we extend our deepest sympathies to Dr. King's family. Every conceivable effort is being made to apprehend his assassin. Meanwhile, we call upon all citizens of our community, as Dr. King would have wished, to maintain peace and order.
And that next morning, I was coming to meet with the parole officers in the city. So I drove into the city, and you know, there had been riots the night before. It was chaos in the city. It was a terrible situation. And Ken Hardy came into the meeting with the parole officers and me. And he said he wanted the white officers to go home and the black officers to go on the street and quiet the chaos. So I was right in the center of that, and to drive through the city with fires and, you know, tanks. And now that brings up something I want to tell you. This is kind of emotional for me. When Martin Luther King died, a part of me died. I told you I lived in Atlanta, went to Emory there, and of course Martin Luther King Jr. was from Atlanta. In the middle of medical school, decided I wanted to take a trip to do something different, and so I bought a Land Rover and I spent a year traveling through Africa. Now, that was an unusual thing to do. I went to 20 countries. I fell in love with Africa. And I carried with me a little letter that was written by Martin Luther King Jr., introducing me to this continent of Africa. Can you imagine that? It's my proudest possession from Martin Luther King. And I, and vacations, would work with SCLC, his group in Atlanta. So I knew him, I knew his wife, his kids. And people don't realize that at the church, at the Ebenezer Baptist Church, he wasn't the person in charge. His father was.
Yes.
Daddy King. And he was a big man, and Martin was a small man. And it was amazing to watch those two interact. But anyhow, his death was extremely personal to me.
Reaching out through the vista of time, saying, if ye do it unto the least of these, my brethren, ye do it unto me. And ultimately, a great nation is a compassionate nation. A great individual is a compassionate individual, concerned about the least of these. Really, in the final analysis, you've got to be concerned about the least of these because you are tied up with the least of these. Some strange reason. No matter how rich you are, you can never be totally rich as long as that is poverty in the world. We are all caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly.